Okay, welcome back, everybody. So today you're in for a treat. I'm going to show you how to make a dish that my mother-in-law, God rest her soul, showed me how to make one day. It's an authentic Greek dish. It's called pita. Specifically, it's going to be a squash pita. And what we mean by pita, when we talk about it in that sense, is it's sort of like a phyllo pie with a beautiful filling of rice and zucchini and squash and various aromatics like onions and garlic and dill. So it's not that difficult to prepare, but it is something your family will really enjoy and something you can enjoy for days. You store it in the fridge and have it the next day. It heats well and it packs well if you want to take it with your lunch. It's just all around very delicious and has a very special place in my heart because, like I said, I used to make it with my mother-in-law, and she showed me how to make it just like she did back in Greece. So here we go. Let's cook. So here I have some rice that I prepared, and basically I just had 2 cups of water and 4 cups of, 2 cups of rice, 4 cups of water, and just brought it to a boil and let it sit. I went and did a little shopping, came back, and look, it's cooked perfectly, just right for what we're going to do. So I'm just going to kind of put that into a bowl so we can mix this all together. And I'm going to add some other ingredients to this, obviously. I'll be adding my eggs. It's still a little bit warm. Mainly want to add some cottage cheese, about 8 ounces of cottage cheese. About a half of a big container, just to kind of give you an idea. And the feta cheese, if your rice is still a little bit warm, will cool it down for you, so then it'll be safe to add your eggs. Now I'm going to add a little butter. I've melted some butter here. I'm going to add a little butter to that too. I'll be saving the rest of the butter for the actual dough, the phyllo dough. So I'm also going to be adding some feta cheese. And there's this thing in the feta cheese called Almi, which is the juice, so the water, the salty water that the cheese is stored in. So I'm going to add about 4 ounces of that water, that liquid. And I'm going to take the cheese, and I'm just going to add the cheese also right to this, just kind of crumble it up rough. You don't want to crumble it too much, but it's nice to get a little chunk of cheese every now and then right into it, right? So we're going to mix that up too. Incorporate that a little bit. It's not a very difficult dish to make, but a lot of very interesting ingredients to make it taste good. So I'm going to be adding a little salt and pepper too. So I'll just add a little pepper right now so I don't forget. You don't have to add too much salt because the Almi is actually very salty. So I'm just going to add a little salt. I found I don't have to add too much. So now we can add our eggs. Get all some of the stuff out of the way. So we're going to have 5 eggs. 1, 2. You might have noticed how I crack my eggs from other episodes. Crack it on the bottom, turn it around so we get the clean side open so that you don't get shells in your food. Usually works pretty good. Somebody showed me that when I was young, back in the early days when I was working in a restaurant. I don't remember who, but I think it's a great idea. So we're going to mix that all up. Kind of get the eggs kind of incorporated. And we don't mix it too much. We don't want that cheese to stay kind of pieces. Very good. So what else we're going to add? We're going to add some dill. We're going to add our zucchini, our squash, some green onions, and some regular onions. So let's do it. We'll start by just peeling my squash and zucchini, and I'll save you the pain of watching me do that. Beautiful. Now some fresh dill. Take off the end stalks, but it might be a little bit tough. Just kind of rough chop up the dill. Dill adds a nice flavor in the background. which is characteristics of a lot of Mediterranean dishes, as well as others, I'm sure. Beautiful. So I'm going to add a little butter to my pan. I'll mix that around a little bit so the phyllo dough doesn't stick. But too much and not enough, believe me, it's not, you don't want that your dough sticking. And what we're going to do is we're going to take out our dough, which we had, usually comes frozen, left it out a few hours, at least 3 or 4 hours. You know, you're going to use it, you put it in the fridge the day before, and then you can have it, it'll be ready for you, basically ready to go. So this is thawed out nicely, so we should be able to work with it pretty well. It is pretty delicate, so if you don't thaw it properly, it will be, or could be, an issue. So we're just going to take our dough, just sort of lay it a couple pieces at a time, start from the middle, and just let it overlap the sides, because what we're going to do is the sides is going to flap over the top, so we want enough room so it will overlap. Let's put a little tiny bit of butter on there. A couple pieces right here. It's not a perfect science, but just going to basically have it covered well on the bottom, so make sure it's together well. That piece looks like it's a little thin right there. It's better to have a little too thick than not thick enough, because the mixture will go right through. All right, so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take my mixture and I'm going to add it right into the dough. Okay, so I'm just going to take my mixture and I'm going to just add a little tiny bit more in the middle. I'm going to add that right in there. So that's our rice and eggs, all the aromatics, and our squashes, our zucchini and our summer squash. Nicely. So at this point, we're going to again kind of hit the top with the rest of our butter. Kind of go right to the edges so nothing sticks all over the whole top. Just for about a half hour. Okay, so into our 400-degree oven it goes. And okay, so it's that time. I'm going to take it out of the oven and see how it came out. Oh my word, look at how beautiful that is. I wish you could be here to smell this. It's amazing. So we're going to let that cool down about a half hour. So I'm going to flip it over. So we have the pretty side on top. Although it does look pretty nice already. It does present a little better when we flip it over because the bottom forms to the sides of the pan and it looks real symmetrical and beautiful. So there you have it. Okay, so I'm just going to flip this over now so it looks a little bit nicer in the pan. You don't have to do this, just basically cut it if you want to. It's going to loosen up the edges a little, make sure it's not stuck to the edges. I think I'm going to use a little less butter than I normally use, so just want to make sure. And we can go ahead and kind of, oh yeah, that's come out nicely. So that slides very well. So I just took a little cover that I used my wok. You can use a cutting board. I'm going to put that on top. And I'm going to basically put one hand underneath and the other hand on top. And I'm going to just flip it right over. Just like that. Let's see. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm just going to easily slide it right back into the pan. Woo! Voila! And look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. Okay, let's cut this nice pita and try it out. Wish you could be here to taste this. It's delicious. Boy, that's so good. Enjoy this time. See you next time. God bless.